I tell you that this life is spiritual. You know, every single day that I study this Bible and try to share retell the story with an audience, I'm convinced that there's nothing that you have right now in your hand. There's nothing that you are achieving that was not given to you spiritually first before it came physically. Honestly speaking, whether you are aware of it or not, whether you are in agreement or not. You see, some things happen in the book of Acts that continue to convince me that that's the case. But let's move on. So if you're joining me for the first time, welcome. And if you're joining me, if you're one of our old viewers, thank you very much for being here again and again. All right. So this podcast is about studying the Bible through in 1 year. This entire year, we intend to study the Bible from cover to cover and everything in between. We're doing this because I want to know more, to draw my own conclusions and interpretations from reading the Bible myself, and to share it with an audience so that I'm held accountable, so that I have dropped the ball many times already, but when I think about the fact that I have promised to do this and God has enabled me, I still show up. So you're going to catch videos that you won't know were actually videos I did afterwards, that I shot after the days. Anyway, I want to know more. I want to challenge the theories that I hear, and I want to draw my own conclusions, make my own interpretations. I'm not a pastor, not a priest, not a reverend. I'm just an ordinary person trying to build my faith with God. We follow a structured guide here, and in this structured guide we look at an Old Testament, a New Testament, a Psalm, and a proverb every single day. The authors think maybe to spice things up, maybe. And we I retell the stories. Sometimes I share my thoughts. I have agreed with some, and I have disagreed with some of the things that I have seen in the Bible. However, every single day that I read it, I am more and more I'm drawn into the stories. I'm getting to understand God's personality more. I'm starting to My relationship with him is changing. And then more than anything else, I have stopped being so pessimistic. I have a much more optimistic view about life, just because of this knowledge that I'm drawing from here. I've spoken a bit, so I just want to get to it immediately. All right, so today is day 188. I dedicate this day to my sister. So the month of July, I have so many. Two of my sons are born on the same day. My sisters are born 3 days apart. We have and then we have on the day my sons were born, we have about 4 or so cousins who also share the same day. I have no idea. Cousins and in-laws. I have no idea why we have so many people in July, but there must be something in the water. At the time these people were their parents were getting pregnant for them. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the water or in the air. Anyway, so I'm dedicating today to my sister. Her birthday is today. All right. So we're looking at Chronicles chapters 4 and 5. We're looking at Acts chapters 25 and Proverbs 18 verses 19. Hi Jack, thank you for joining me today. So the scriptures that we read will be in the description box below, and we have finished the book of Psalms, so we are no longer reading the book of Psalms. All right, so we're still tracking genealogies here. And the thing that stands out to me in the First Chronicles 4, chapters 4 to chapters 5 verse 17, is the story about a man called Jabez. Yes. So the genealogy starts with, describing the father of Bethlehem, her. And listen, I didn't bother to write them down. The names are many. This person had 5 sons, and they'll select maybe one son from the 5 and trace his genealogy. Perhaps these are the people who made the impact, They traced his genealogy. And so one of the things I decided is that if they were telling a story of my life, many years from now, when I have my grandchildren are the ones running things, that my name will be selected. They'll say Ochido, and then are the things that Ochido achieved. Then they'll take time to name my children because of the impact that I made. And so that's one thing I'm going to leave with anyone that try to live like a life that is impactful, okay? Because some other people were listed, their names were mentioned, and then there were even some people they didn't mention, they just told us this guy had 16 children. No mention of any of his children's names or any impact that they made. All right, so um, they continue with the father of all Bethlehem. They talk about a guy called Tekoa, who was the father. He had two wives, Hila and Nara. So in some cases they named sisters, and in many cases they named mothers. Yes, mothers appear to be a big deal. So anytime somebody is a serious person, they will tell you who his mother was. Yes. So moms, I have read through the Bible through and through. If you're a woman reading this, I haven't seen anywhere where God was discarding women. All of these arguments we have today, where women appear to be treated and religion is used as the reason, I have not found it. I'm still yet to see where God told the woman, shh, keep quiet, go inside, don't speak, keep quiet, you're not needed here, it's not important. I'm yet to see it. Anytime a woman took a bold step and showed up, she was given a place of prominence. Even prostitutes. Woo! My goodness. That's talk for another day. So those are some of the things I'm going to say when I'm doing my summary. My summary of the things I've learned so far from the Bible. I should actually do this thing, Anyway, so they come all the way to a guy, one of the sons of Caleb. Caleb was listed yesterday as one of the sons of Judah. Then they just select Caleb's story and then start talking about a man called Jabez. And they said Jabez was more honorable than his brother. So I took time to Google because his father was not named, neither was his mother named. But they tell us the story of Jabez, and they tell us that he was more honorable than his brothers because he cried out to God, asking for God to bless him. So there's this popular, there's a very in the Christian community, the prayer of Jabez is quite popular, and there was a minister back in the day who took time to break it down and wrote a book on it, and that book created an entire movement around Jabez, songs, albums, and people doing great things, attributing it to their desire to pray this prayer, and I joined them as well. So the summary of the prayer was, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me, keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. So there are many songs. There's one song, there's an album dedicated, it's called the Prayer of Jabez album. It's like one of my favorite albums because the songs are so melodious, and so prayerful. Like when you sing them, you are praying. Oh, that you would bless me, enlarge my territory, that your hand will be with me. You will keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. So one of the things that these people used to argue about way back when I was in the university, and this was a conversation, people would say that, what does it mean by will not cause pain? Come on now. If you were suffering, a lot of the people that are causing pain out there in the world today are struggling people. They didn't intend to be bad people. Life was just happening to them. Evil things were happening to them, and it changed them and made them also carry out evil things on other people, causing pain. So one of the things that Jabez outlined here is that, look, keep me from evil so that me too, I will not become an evil person, going about causing pain and harming people and doing God disservice. Anyway, the Bible says that Jabez got what he prayed for. God enlarged his territory. I pray that all the time. So in relating it to my personal life, I'm an architect. I run a licensed practice, and I do interior design, proper interior design, construction. I'm thinking of going into the real estate shortly, and I want to beautify anywhere I go. I feel like it's my work, it's my life's work, And then while I'm beautifying lives, I love to to empower people. I love everything about rebranding yourself, reinventing yourself. That's me. You understand, right? So I asked God to enlarge my territory. I said, God, please, I want to do way more than I'm doing. I want to make sure that when they are writing the names of descendants, my name will be lifted, taken about, and then my descendants will be lifted. And they might tell a story about me just like they are telling a story about Jabez. And that has been so far my story. I've asked God to enlarge my territory. I've asked him to be with me. This girl you are seeing here has survived a cardiac arrest. I've had all sorts of things thrown at me. I'm currently dealing with a health condition that is chronic, that you can't tell by looking at me, an autoimmune, in fact, two autoimmune conditions. But I'm still enlarging my territory. I'm still, God's hand is still with me, and He's still blessing me, and I'm still, I'm still trying to make sure I don't cause pain. I don't cause pain. This prayer is working for me. And perhaps maybe if you stay tuned, if you follow me on social media, I'll be sharing things that God is using me to do, and that would encourage you to pray this prayer as well. But let's round up. Let's round up. So that ends, and then it talks about other people. Basically, all of these were descendants of Judah. So Judah ended up becoming the most prominent son of Jacob. Now, let me take you back why that was that they took time to explain that to us. They took time to explain that to us. Simeon was the son of Judah. Simeon and Judah, they had hot tempers when they were like alive. But God always referred to their tribes as if they were one person. He'd say Judah did this, Simeon did that, even though it was the descendants of Simeon, his people. So Simeon had five sons and many grandsons, basically 16. And then one of his sons, Shimei, had 16 sons and 5 girls. But they were specific here to say Simeon did not have many children. Not like Judah. He didn't have many children. They lived in a place called Beersheba. They attacked the people of Minuite, and that was the place where they took their land. And the records were collected during the time of King Hezekiah. And so that it tells me that even though long before the kingdom came and everything, many generations, the Jews were still trying to conquer their land. So I'm going to say something that is controversial, that is probably might paint me in the bad light. What is going on in Gaza today is still these Jews trying to take over the land they believe God gave them. They failed to do it during Joshua's time, and they were hobnobbing with the people in the land. And so God said, I'm not going to remove the people from the land. There will be a thorn in your flesh. And that's what's going on in Geba today. So I'm human, and I feel like, okay, you guys need to tone down a bit. The bombing is a bit too much. In this world today, we really could do without the war, But when I read the Bible, I see that they are trying to fulfill something that they should have fulfilled many years ago, that they failed to do, and they're still trying to do it. And it's such an eyesore to the rest of us in modern times, how gross this thing can look when people are trying to take over territory they believe they've been given by God. Anyway, so they talk about Simeon's sons, they talk about Reuben's son. So Reuben was the official firstborn. Reuben was the official firstborn of Joseph, of Jacob. But Reuben had an affair with one of Jacob's concubines. She must have been really young. I don't know. Reuben had an affair with one of Jacob's concubines, so Jacob stripped him of the rights of the firstborn and gave it to Joseph. Joseph was like, I think he was I don't know, maybe in the list of sons, I think he's always listed like 11th son. So Joseph was the one who preserved the family, became a prime minister in Egypt, and was taken. So Jacob gave Reuben's birthright to Joseph. And Joseph was given a place like that. That is, if other people had one portion, Joseph had two. Joseph's 2 children became. So we don't have a tribe of Joseph. We have a tribe of Ephraim and Manasseh, 2, because Jacob stripped Reuben of his firstborn rights and gave it to Joseph. However, Judah emerged and became the leader. Judah produced the most leaders. Judah rose to prominence. The tribe of Judah became a powerful tribe. All the kings started coming from Judah, and eventually even Jesus came from Judah. Joseph did not maintain the firstborn rights, and Reuben never had it, even though Reuben had a lot of people in his genealogy as well. Judah was the one who really prevailed and became the leader. So they, of course, they took time to describe the tribe of Gad as well, who lived next door to the Reubenites. They said chiefs. They talked about a couple of chiefs from them. So I guess there were also some prominent people, but you know, they didn't take time to break them down like Judah. And then so one of the things that I have taken away as we end the First Testament, the Old Testament, is that you can forge your destiny yourself. Judah was there was some sort of like a curse on Judah, because Judah and Simeon, they had like a temper. That's the original boys when they were young. And then Judah was the one who also impregnated by accident his daughter-in-law. You know. So there was a lot of dirt around the original Judah, but somewhere along the line, Judah cleaned up. His descendants cleaned up. And even though some of Judah's sons were the tribe of Moab, Judah continued, okay, no, it wasn't Judah, it was Lot. It was Lot who became the father of Moab. You know, so Judah cleaned up somewhere along the line and became prominent. So that you are a nobody, or you have like many stains to your life, your reputation, you are broken by your mistakes, life choices, or whatever, you can clean up like Judah. Judah wasn't even made. I mean, they said the scepter will not depart from Judah. That was the thing this guy and their father said, and somehow Judah wielded it until it became true. So that can be you, that can be me, that can be you, that can be me. You know, so I wrote here, you can forge your own destinies. And then of course I've already mentioned that your descendants will be seen as if they were you and treated as if they were you. My God. Anyway, let's quickly look through Acts. Okay, so we still see Festus has resumed leadership in Rome. And Festus has resumed leadership in Rome, taking over from Felix, and Paul was still a prisoner. He had barely even settled down when the Jews accosted him and said, that guy that is with you, we need his head. So he's like, you know, have him just eliminated. That was one. So he's like, calm down, everybody, calm down. I need to know what exactly this guy did. So I'm going to invite you guys over. And you guys, oh, he did this, he did that, he did this. Oh, okay, really? All right, just because, you know, I'm a leader, we don't just make decisions without hearing the other part. So he invites Paul over and he says Paul should speak. And then when they both meet, have you ever seen dogs who, if there are two dogs in two different compounds, they keep barking at each other, calling each other names. I deal with you. Don't you dare try me. You, woof, woof. You know, woof, woof. The moment you open the gate, everybody calms down. Have you seen it before? That's what these guys did. So when Festus brought them before Paul, the accusations were just lame. And it was like, I don't understand. I thought you guys said this guy had a real issue here, you know. They're like, yeah, send him to Jerusalem. We know what to do. We're telling you, this guy is a very bad guy. He's a very bad guy. He's an evil person. And Paul is like, okay, so Paul, speak your mind. Paul is like, can you see that they can't say anything about me? Because I didn't do anything. I have wronged nobody. Tell them to narrate the issue and why I was arrested and brought here. Call the garrison and ask him. He will tell you what transpired that day and everything. You know, I did nothing. I have not done anything to anyone. I have not hurt anybody. So really, all of this drama, you know, and everything. So Festus is like, well, it seems like there's something going on here. Would you like to be transferred to Jerusalem for this case to be handled? The priests were happy because they had already asked him, transfer him to Jerusalem. We'll deal with him. We don't want to disturb you. We'll deal with him. You know that oath that some 42 guys took? That oath was still binding. They were still fasting 2 years later, I guess. And they were like waiting to waylay Paul so that they could kill him. So long as Paul was alive, they were just not going to have... You talk about distraction. If I was supposed to be a teacher and then I made it my duty to go after someone I don't like, I made that my duty, completely neglecting why and my purpose here on earth. Can you imagine how terrible that would be? These guys went on an oath, promising to kill Paul, completely living their own lives and businesses so that they can focus on waiting for Paul to come out. Anyway, Paul says, no, this is the correct place I'm supposed to be tried. I'm not supposed to be tried in Jerusalem. I'm supposed to be tried here, so I'm going to be tried here. In any case, I have appealed to Caesar. Festus is like, because this thing, I don't know, it seems deeper. You guys are not really I don't know if it's just this whole resurrection thing people are fighting about, because I can't believe this. I mean, you know that Romans are Europeans, but I can't wrap my around all of this drama with these Israelites and stuff like that. So just go and everything. So when Paul said, I'd like to see Caesar, I've already appealed, he's like, "Phew, I'll take you to Caesar." Then he goes and meets Caesar, and he tells Caesar, there's this guy who has been in my custody since the time of Felix, and then he was put there. They asked the people the Jews, the senior council members of the Jews approached me and said that guy needed to be sentenced to death. It was really bad news. And then I tried to call them to investigate and then conduct a small panel court session. I didn't hear anything. I mean, this was how the Bible even put it. The whole argument is about some guy called Jesus who resurrected, who Paul insists is alive, and the Jews say he's not. That's what this whole drama is about. I can't wrap my mind around it. And they say he should be sentenced to death. I can't sentence him to death because it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm bringing him to you. Maybe there's something you can do so that you can make a good decision, So Agrippa says, all right, I'll see him when I come to Rome, or whenever I come to wherever, I'll come. And then he landed with pomp and pageantry, everybody dressed up. There was a whole, now it was not just, this was now like news on CNN. They were just announcing Agrippa is coming to CNN, and so CNN is going to do the live coverage. Arise News, NTA, Al Jazeera, everybody is going to be watching. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So you know what that told me? This life is completely spiritual. God had told Paul, you've witnessed to me in Jerusalem, now you are going to witness to me. You've witnessed to me in, I forgot now you're going to be a witness to me in Jerusalem. And then he of course, from Jerusalem, he's going to stand before the ruling power of the world. He's going to speak, and it's going to be broadcast live. The whole world is going to watch this the way we were watching O.J. Simpson. Yes, we didn't get to watch what's his name, PDD, and all the accusations against PDD. There's a lot of angst in people that PDD seem to have been acquitted of a lot of the crimes listed. Oh yeah, I know current things, So this Paul, the matter was brewing, and every news station, every powerful news, CBB and BBC, CBBS, because my son, BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, the top news channels, Fox News, Arise News, NTA, Channels News, they were all going to be focused on this, and God was going to give Paul a platform, because when Agrippa comes on the scene, he doesn't do things in a small way. This thing Paul had to say, God needed it to be heard by the entire world. Talk about the original chess player. Everything is spiritual. God was the one who kept Paul, to keep him safe and then to keep him comfortable, because he was kept in luxury. This detention was like a big house arrest. He was visiting people. People were visiting him. He was not restricted. He was kept and fed by the state. God making sure nothing interrupted Paul until Paul had to talk about Jesus on a global stage. Nothing was going to touch him. And he kept the Israelites angry enough for this matter to continue to brew year after year. Oh my goodness. Is anything going on with you that you feel like, what's really going on? There's a master puppet player behind the screen controlling things. I promise you. I mean, of course, with your free will, with your willingness to allow him use you, there's something. When I look at my life now and the stage I am in and the things that I want to achieve, I'm a very ambitious person. I'm full of vision. Some of the things that I want to achieve, I struggle to understand why some things are happening the way they are. But anytime I read this story, I know there's a big player behind the scene controlling things. And you see, God's plan, regardless of whatever I think, will come to pass. Have you seen the Bible? We're looking at the genealogy, people who lived and died. You will pass, and my time will pass. A time will come when I will be also in the past. But what God wants to do will stand, regardless of what we think. Goodness. God is to be feared. I'm going to leave you with that. Let's quickly go to, we'll be done in 30 seconds. Proverbs 18:19. A brother offended is harder to win than a strong city, and contentions are like bars of a castle. They keep you caged. That's our Bible show up for today. Thank you for those who joined me, and I trust that you would say something in the comments about the story. Go read it for yourself. The scriptures will be in the description box. please sign up for my channel, subscribe, share this with someone you think needs to watch it, and turn on your notification buttons if you'd like to join me live. And I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you.